What's up, beautiful besties? Welcome into the Divine Feminist by Turning Tides Tarot. I had to quickly remember what collective I was reading for. Y'all, I'm really glad that some of you really enjoyed the Lenormand reading. So, personally, I felt that it was a little bit too short, okay? And I just prefer myself a little bit of a longer, deeper dive into the energy. So for today's reading, we are going to pull a Lenormand spread, and then I'm going to follow it up with 3 clarifying questions based on what comes out, and use the tarot for that. So we're going to do a little bit of a combo reading today. If you are here for it and you want to show your girl some love, go ahead and like the reading, and let me know if this is your thing, if you want to see more of a mixed modality type of vibe around here on the Divine Feminist. But either way, I just thank you so very much for being here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that spread now. I feel like cutting the deck, and now I'm going to lay it out to see what we're getting today. Okay. The cards are so little compared to tarot, but that's okay. That is okay here. Oh, geez, mice right in the middle. Okay, we might have a little bit of a warning here in this reading. Okay, I'm going to tune into this, loves, and I will be right back in a quick blip for you with the interpretation. All right, loves, I have tuned into the energy, and I really have to say that, you know, I feel like something that used to be solid, okay, is now turning out to be kind of sketchy. Now, I'm going to explain it, of course. That's my job. We have tree, we have man, and we have whip, okay? So someone here, likely a masculine energy with the man card coming up, has been part of your life for a very long time, all right? And the tree, it shows roots, longevity, maybe even a karmic connection, okay? But paired with the whip, it's not an easy one, okay? So there's been tension and some arguments, maybe even some kind of cycle that keeps repeating with this person. This could be somebody who says, you know, all the right things one day and then pulls back or like picks a fight the next day, okay? It feels like there's some kind of pattern of like push-pull or some unresolved stuff here that's really starting to affect your peace, okay? Now, we have to look at the center here because this is always the heart of a Lenormand spread, and that is, like I said, it's the mice, okay? And because it's our core card, it's kind of like giving a little bit of a warning. Something here is getting eaten away at, okay? There's something here that's getting eaten away. It could be the trust, confidence, stability. It's kind of like a slow drip of stress or anxiety. And that adds up over time, right? Like it really adds up over time. So right beside it, we've got the sun, and then we've got the clouds on the other side here, which tells me that there was a clear and kind of hopeful energy around this person or situation. Like at one point it felt really promising, okay? But now you really can't see things clearly anymore. So it's murky, right? You might feel a little bit confused about what's real and what's just like wishful thinking in this situation. And then, you know, we move towards the bottom, right? Which is the tower, clover, and the ring here. And this is interesting because there's distance here with the tower. It can mean someone's being emotionally or physically distant, right? And, you know, it can even mean that like an institution or structure is involved, like work or school or some kind of legal things going on. But then with the clover, there's this like little moment of luck or an unexpected shift. And ring, this is about commitments and contracts and cycles. So this is kind of interesting here. So it feels like something is unraveling or being chipped away at, okay? There is a lucky break coming in the situation, but it is tied to a choice about commitment, okay? So you might have a second chance here, either to recommit to yourself, to set a boundary, or even to renegotiate a relationship on new terms. Again, not very surprising that this theme is coming out right now, friends. We have 3 planets in retrograde, Mercury being one of them, and this is when oftentimes we see a resurgence of past energy coming up to be resolved. Okay, so we will maybe get a lot of contact from exes, or themes around those difficult relationships will come up again during this time. And all three of these planets that are in retrograde right now, Saturn is included in this, and I believe Neptune as well. It's going to be here to like August 10th. So please try to forgive your girl here for picking up on a little bit of broken record energy. Between this channel and the Turning Tides Tarot main channel, we are seeing this theme just explode onto the scene right now. Okay, so don't shoot the messenger, please, besties. Okay, but I do have a couple other things looking at, right? We got to go diagonal with the Lenormand. So we're going to look at this line here as well. We've got the tree, the mice, and the ring. So it tells me that there is this like long-standing connection, again, being slowly worn down, right? So it might be a soul tie, or even, a literal agreement that's starting to feel energetically draining for you. And then we're looking at whip, mice, tower going down this way. And this combination screams like stress that isolates. So it's like you've been feeling more alone lately, or you're carrying a lot of the emotional weight here. So you're definitely not imagining that heaviness or that heavy feeling around this whole situation, right? Okay. And then going down the middle, we have man, mice, and clover. So whoever this is, they are part of the stress, but also possibly the key to the lucky turnaround, right? So if they step up, things could shift, right? But they have to want to, okay? And then last but not least, we're looking at sun, mice, and clouds again, just the cross, right? So what once felt happy and bright is now, again, being clouded by doubt or mixed signals, okay? So your intuition also might feel blocked around the situation, or like it's kind of harder to know what's true right now. So if your piece is being picked apart bit by bit, even by someone that you care about right now, that matters, okay? So this spread is basically saying, like, trust what's being shown, not what's being said, okay? So you might be coming up on a moment here where you have to choose clarity over chaos, all right? Now, I have 3 questions that I am going to clarify using the tarot. And I'm just going to go ahead and use, maybe I'll use a smaller deck. The Tarot of Dreams I will use, okay? And first and foremost, I want to ask here, what does this masculine energy truly want, okay? And are their actions aligned with their intentions, okay? Are their actions aligned with their intentions? Now, we normally focus on our Divine Feminine Collective and keep the readings all about you, but seeing as how there's this masculine energy showing up in our reading, this is affecting you. So let's figure it out. Let's see what this masculine truly wants with you. And are there elections? I meant to say actions aligned with their words, and I said elections. Anyways, are there elections in alignment? Jeez. Okay, what is going on here with this masculine? What do they really want? Spirit, please clarify. What does this masculine really want? We will pull 3 cards on that. We have the Knight of Coins. Oh, this one wants to come out. Oh, geez, the 5 of Coins. And this one also wants to be known. And I'm going to take it. A lot of Pentacles. It's all Pentacles. 8 of Coins. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, we have Strength as well. All right, let me tune in. All right, so what does this masculine energy truly want? And are their actions aligned with that? Okay, so what came out here was the Knight of Coins, the 5 of Coins, 8 of Coins, and Strength. So let's break it down here. Right away, this person is showing up as the Knight of Coins or Pentacles, however you want to word it. In this deck, it's coins, okay? So they're not really that fast, okay? Like at all. This is things moving at a snail pace, right? This is somebody who might want to offer something real, okay? Something stable, but they are dragging their feet. They're totally dragging their feet. They want to build, okay? Absolutely, they do. But they want to do it on their own timeline, not yours, okay? So honestly, I feel like their pace could be so slow that it ends up looking like avoidance, all right? Especially with this kind of tension and distance that we saw here with this tower vibe, okay, and the Lenormand spread. Now here's where it gets even a little bit murkier, perhaps is the word I want to use, because the 5 of coins sitting right in the middle here, this is like underneath whatever they say or show, this person is dealing with some really deep fears around like abandonment, rejection, or definitely not being enough. Okay, so they might feel left out in the cold even when they're the one who pulled back, okay, from this whole situation. So it's giving like self-protection mode big time. Okay, big time energy. But then we've got the 8 of coins, which, I mean, this is interesting here because it tells me that they're trying to work on something. Okay, so maybe it's themselves, maybe it's their finances, maybe it's, you know, emotional stability. But this person is likely burying themselves in work or distractions as some way to avoid like directly dealing with the emotional mess between the two of you. Okay, because that's how I feel it is. But I mean, underneath the deck, we have strength, which, you know, this is all about like inner resilience and holding back that beast, you know, the inner beast. So, and you know, I mean, if you're here for my readings, either here on this channel or in the last one, you know that it takes strength to overcome the devil. That is the beast that we are, you know, holding back, okay? And the devil, of course, represents anything that tempts you, things that you do that you know aren't good for you, all of that kind of stuff. So this person is really doing everything they can not to show any weakness, okay? And even if it's costing them like closeness with you. So they might be telling themselves that they're doing the strong thing here by keeping their distance or staying silent. But from your end, it probably just feels like confusing as hell, right? So they're trying to tell themselves that they're holding back. Them holding back from you, it's almost like they're telling themselves that, you know, you're not good for them because you make them feel like some kind of pressure I'm picking up on. I don't know. So, I mean, to answer the question though, I mean, they just want to do things on their own time because they are sitting in this very uncomfortable energy of not feeling worthy or, again, having their abandonment wounds triggered and things like that, okay? Without, you know, repeating myself. But to answer the actual question here, like, do their actions align with their intentions? No, not really. I feel like what they want is something stable and slow burning. Yeah, maybe even committed. But their actions, you know, they're showing up as withdrawn and emotionally guarded and way too focused on keeping control, especially over like how things progress here. Okay, so it's like they want love, but they're absolutely terrified of the vulnerability that it requires. Okay. So, I mean, if someone like, look, okay, if someone's afraid to come, if somebody is afraid to come in out of the cold, okay, which fair enough, right? That is not, it's not your job to drag them back into the warmth. Okay. Like they have to want to show up fully, not just say they care, like not just say they care and hiding their, like hiding everything that's going on within them. I don't know. It just feels like they're really guarded. So watch what they do and not what they hint at. Okay. It's not your job to fix this person. Okay. It really isn't. So now I need to ask because I want to turn the focus back onto you. I know that you are in this, you know, this is a situation here. If this is your reading, then this is a situation that is happening in your life or has happened in your life. I need to know now, like, what's the most aligned path forward for you? Okay, do you stay the course with this situation or do you shift the dynamic or you walk away? Like, let's see how we can put the power back in your hands when it comes to this whole situation. Okay, that's what I really want to do here. Let's put the power back in your hands because this person is very much obsessed with being the one who sets the tone and controls the speed of how things develop. And it is very, again, this push-pull on-off kind of thing. And we are not here for that. Nobody has time for that. It is 2025. Like, get it sorted out. You know, you're not here to friggin' fix anyone, okay? So, what is the most aligned path forward for you? What is the most aligned path forward for you, our dear divine feminist? 8 of Wands, very clear, okay? Four of Wands. Wow. Knight of Swords. And then at the bottom of the deck, ooh, nice. I have the Ace of Cups. Okay. I like this. I like this a lot. Let me tell you, Spirit is not being subtle here at all. This is like a go time kind of energy, all right? And it starts off here with the Eight of Wands. And that's forward motion, right? It's clear communication. It could even be travel or some kind of energetic release, right? So I feel like the universe is basically saying to you, all right, enough with the limbo. Let's move this along, right? Whether that's moving on from the connection or moving through a tough conversation, this is about momentum, right? So no more sitting still and waiting on someone else's growth. Okay, that's absolutely clear. And then with the Four of Wands sitting right here in the middle, I love it because, it's often seen as the union card. But in this context, I think this is about you creating your own sense of emotional safety and celebrating it. Okay. So, like, what if your next chapter is about you coming home to yourself? All right. Building a solid foundation that's not based on someone else's emotional availability. Right. And now with the Knight of Swords, oh boy, this is that cut through the BS energy. Right. So you might feel like you're ready to say what you've been holding back. Okay. Like just blurt it out even, like give it to them. Okay. Or you might finally ask like a super blunt question that will clear up the confusion completely. Like it's right direct and in their face, right? It's honest and it's kind of ruthless, but it's in the best way. Okay. So it's like, I'm not here for your half truths anymore kind of a vibe. And honestly, with the Ace of Cups is the heart of it. I know it's under the deck here, but this is your new beginning. So your real emotional reset. And I feel like Spirit's like, babe, you are the prize here. You don't have to beg for love. You don't have to fix anyone who's not willing to friggin', do the work here, right? You are friggin' embodiment of love here, okay? So that cup, I mean, it is ready to be filled, okay? But it's only, again, with somebody who's really bringing theirs to the table as well. Absolutely full, their own cup, absolutely full and absolutely open and available. So I feel like your aligned path forward is to really shift the dynamic here, to speak your truth and be absolutely ready to walk. Okay. And it's not out of bitterness, but it's out of like self-love, right? So this doesn't mean it's over, but it does mean that the old dynamic is. Okay. So whether they rise up or not, I mean, that's on them. Okay. But you're not waiting in the hallway, waiting for them to make a choice anymore. Okay. So the last question that I have here is, I really want to know what this unexpected shift or the lucky break is that's coming in, and how can you make the most of it? Okay, so that is, how can you make the most of it? So what is this unexpected shift or lucky break that is coming in for you? How can you make the most of it? What is this lucky break coming in, and how can you make the most of it? Okay, Queen of Wands. I feel like that's your vibe. Seven of Swords. Holy. Okay, something's being hidden. Okay, let me see. Nine of Wands. And then underneath the deck, Eight of Swords. Oh, shoot. But then even under that, I have to show you this Ten of Coins. Okay, so I feel the Ten of Coins, the Star, and the Fool. All right, this has everything to do with this question. All right, let me just tune right in, my besties. So this is a very interesting string of energy. I have to be real with you because, like, right out of the gate here with the Queen of Wands, I'm like, oh, that's good. That's you. And then Seven of Swords, Nine of Wands, Eight of Swords. Like, my God. This is chaotic, okay? And I'm not gonna lie, like at first glance when this was coming out, I was like, this feels like a freaking red flag parade, all right? And of course, Queen of Wands, I mean, that is you standing in your power, shining, magnetic, all of the things. You're not oblivious, okay? You have eyes on the room, like you are picking up the energy, right? And then the Seven of Swords, like someone's being shady. There is deception, or at least this withholding, okay? So you might not get the full truth from this person, at least not directly, but guess what? Spirit's about to show you what they won't say. All right. And then with the 9 of Wands, 8 of Swords, like that's exhausted energy. That's emotionally beat down and overthinking territory. Like, how many times do I have to almost heal this with them before realizing it's just not safe for me? Okay. So you are tired of carrying the weight of hope and the burden of clarity at the same time. Okay. But then, I mean, when we were peeking underneath the deck here, we got this beautiful string of energy. The 10 of coins, the star, the fool. Like, this is a blessing in disguise. This is exactly, this is exactly feeling like, oh, like you dodged a bullet. It feels like you dodged a bullet. Okay. So what felt like a setback or rejection, it might just be divine redirection here for you, friends, because you are being spared from a long road of confusion and gaslighting with this person. And in its place, I feel like there's a fresh path that's going to open up for you, and it's one that will actually lead somewhere real. So, of course, 10 of coins is talking about stability that is coming, like your legacy, your community, the real deal, a life partnership, all of that good stuff, right? The star is your healing glow up moment. And not only does your hope get restored, but you start aligning with higher vibrational things. And that's why we often refer to the star as the wish card, okay? Because you are coming from a higher vibrational manifestation point. I hope that makes sense, but it's like, therefore you do bring in and draw in a like vibrational match to you. And that's how you get your wishes come true. Okay. So you're aligning with a wish, right? Essentially. And of course the fool, I mean, like that's your soul taking a leap into this new story for yourself. And it's a clean slate, right? You don't need to bring your bags. You don't got any baggage. Like you really just need your intuition, your light, and a little trust in where Spirit's taking you. Okay. So let's make the most of this lucky break. How do we do that? You stay in your Queen of Wands energy. So trust your gut when it says that, hey, this doesn't feel right. Okay. And don't be afraid to walk towards the unknown, especially when it is lit up with like incredible potential here. So you're really not losing anything. You are escaping something that would have kept your light dimmed. All right. And I don't feel like this is, a detour. I feel like it's almost like a rescue mission from the universe. Okay. And I feel like now that you're free from it, I just feel like there's an energy of like being emboldened. So it's like, go be bold, go be magic, go start over. Okay. But this time it's all on your own terms. So again, this is such beautiful messaging, and it is in alignment with our beautiful Divine Feminine Collective, our Glow Up Gang. And if you would like early access to these beautiful readings and to show your support, please don't be shy to join us as a member, an official member of the channel to support its growth. But you don't have to if you don't feel called to. It's totally good. It's totally okay. I really will take any kind of energy exchange I can get. And appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to like the reading, if you want to leave me a comment, if you want to encourage somebody else who's commenting, that's always wonderful too. We're trying to build community here of glow up vibes, okay? And supporting one another as we move towards healthier, just healthier chapters in our lives. And yeah, so we're here to support one another. But yeah, if you're new and you somehow came across this reading and you're not already subscribed, I would invite you to do so. I do have a little bit of a goal, and we're getting closer and closer to the deadline. I really, really hope to be able to achieve it. You gotta have goals. Everybody's gotta have goals, and my goal is to have 1,000 divine feminists here in this space right now, just to kind of kick off our glow up gang, okay, and help grow the movement. All right. So that's what my goal is. And if you can help me with it, I would appreciate that as well. So anyway, with all that said, thank you so very much for being here with me. I hope you have a very blessed day, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.